So in last class we saw pretty much everything in Hive, like partitions. We also saw bucketing. We completed partition and bucketing concepts. So in this class I'll cover some small topics. It's a parameter substitution, and to see how we can substitute parameters in Hive and how we can run the Hive queries. There's something in parallel execution also I have mentioned to you in prior classes. So in Hive, you can do a parallel execution, like if you're inserting from one table, you can actually, I'm not going to execute that, but I'll just show you how to do it. So bring this. So if you want to read from one table, let's say if you have table 1 from table, then you can, if you want to insert into multiple tables by just reading from table 1, if you want to insert into multiple tables, we can do that in Hive without writing multiple queries. Let me go ahead and do that anyways. So it's called multi-table insert. I'll show you an example. Let me log in into Hive. Okay, so let's take an example. Let's see if you are inserting from non-partition parquet table. So let's say I fetched 10 records from that table. So let's say if I want to insert into multiple tables by reading from non-partition parqueting table. So let's say if I want to insert some records from this table, let's say if row ID less than 5, insert into table 1. If row ID is equal to 6, insert into another table. If row ID is 10, if you insert into another table. So normally in RDBMS world, we have to write 3 queries to insert those 3 different tables by reading from non-partition parquet table. But in Hive, you can do something called multi-insert. So let's go ahead and create those tables first. So what I will do is create table. So I will do this multi-one, like I'll just create like this. Like this one, multi-one. It created. Let's go ahead and create another table just like this, and let's go create another table just like this. So I have 3 tables now. So first I have to read from this table. That's how you do it, is from, you have to put from first and then read from this non-partition parquet table, and then all you do is insert overwrite multi-one, and then what you do is select star, or you have to, you can do select star from. Sorry, we don't need from because from is already defined in here. So where ID less than 5, and Then you can do another one more insert, overwrite. Now you are inserting into multi-2, where you want to select everything from the table. ID is equal to 6. Then you do insert, overwrite, multi-3, select star, ID is equal to 7. So let's see if this works. Okay. Where so this is ID 6. Okay, it looks like ID is not, star is not working. Let's see. Let's do this. Set overwrite into multi. Let's go ahead and just create one column for now. Star, we have to specify all the columns in here, which I don't want to. Let's specify only one column. Let's do show create table. So in here I will just do create external table multiply. I'm just gonna say ID int in this. ID int. Okay, then I will do multi-6, but here I will just store I had to try logging back. So here I will store first name. Okay, let's say I just have requirement of 2 tables. Alright, let's do from Parquet table, np Parquet table, and I will do insert overwrite table. The table name is multiply. So here all I'm doing is I'm doing distinct IDs. I'm selecting distinct ID from the table, and then I'm going to write another insert to another table, overwrite table multi-6 and then select distinct first name, and then the put semicolon. So important is the table that you are selecting, you have to select it from here. First you have to specify that table, you have to do from table, And then all you have to do is insert overwrite into table 1. You just need to select what columns you want to select it from this table. You don't have to specify this table multiple times in here. So let's see. So now it's earlier it failed because we have to specify all the columns in there instead of select star. But now it's working. So this is called multi inserts. You're doing multiple inserts at one time. So that means the advantage of using multi insert is for performance. It will read this table only once, and then it inserts into this table in different. So it doesn't have to read this table twice. It just scans the table once. So it's going to take some time. So meanwhile, let's jump into new window and let's do parameters. So okay, so okay, so now until now we saw all the commands from command line prompt. So how can we run scripts without entering into command line prompt? There are multiple options that you can do. So now you are in this Unix CLI command, but you're not in Hive CLI. So what if you want to run some commands from here? It's very easy. You can use option called -e, and then just to use training, and then I'll do. You can put semicolon. You can do execute multiple number of commands at the same time, and then do show tables. Hold on 1 second. Sorry guys. So what I did is I'm using -e, then use training, show tables. You are in Unix CLI, not Hive CLI. So by using this, you can do this, and when you enter, it will log in into Hive, run these queries, and give us the output. But you're not doing this. Remember, you're not doing this from Hive CLI command. You see, you got the results. You got the results, time, seconds, and OK. So using Hive -e, you can execute anything, any command, select statement, insert statements, or anything from here. All you have to do is you put double quotes, put the command that you want to use, and enter, and that's it. It will execute it. So there is another option which is called which is called silent mode. What this will do is it will suppress the MapReduce output that it's printing out. So let's say you're doing use training, and then select star from np parquet table limit n. When you run this, you know that this code will actually run. It will kick off the MapReduce program, and it will run. It will show you all the output, right? So -s will suppress all those. That's why it's -s. And when we run this, you don't see anything running in here. It's not giving you MapReduce or anything. It will just sit there idle. Let's see. It should be. Now I've typed it incorrectly. It's showing me everything. So this is what you can see. -e is used for SQL for command line, and I'm using -s, which is silent mode in interactive shell. and there is a verbose mode, which is just nothing but it's echo executed equal to console. And I'm going to show you this I also. I'm going to show you this I. I'm going to show you this -s and then E and then -f. So now I'm going to let's do this -s, which is silent mode. So it's running, but it's not giving you any map reduce job. It won't show you anything. Now it gave you the output. So using -s, you can silent and it won't show you the map reduce percentage, how much it's taking to run it. So let me log into Hive and let me show you how to substitute the parameters in the code. So let's do okay. What I'll do is I'll go into user training, and then let's assume that I'm running this code. Select star from np Parquet table where id is 1. Let's assume that we are running this. We want to run this where you want to substitute id is equal to 1, and you're gonna get the output. So what if I want to pass this value as a parameter? How should you do it in Hive? So if you are in Hive CLI, you can do set id is equal to 1, and then all you have to do is in is equal to, then you have to open braces, then you have to use something called $, and Hive conf is a variable substitution. You have to use Hive conf, then colon id and single quotes. Now you can run this. You got the result. So what it does is when you use Hive conf, this is a variable substitution. So and it knows that the variable substitution, it's taking it from a value called id. So this you have to use mandatory no matter what variable you are using. This is telling that you want to substitute some value for id, and you're setting id is equal to 1 in the previous step. So when you do Hive conf and you're telling it I want this value from id, then it will take this value 1 and substitute it. So this is Hive conf. So what if you want to run this from, let's say you have a you're creating a I'll show you how to create a file and run it from the file. So let's open a sample file, let's say, which is called test.html. Let's open this sample file, and I'm writing a simple query in here. I'm going to say use training, and then select star from Parquet table where id is equal to 1. So this is a query that we have. We are putting in this query in a file, and then I'm going to save it. So now we have query in here, which is test.html. So how can I run this query from here without going into Hive CLI? Simple way to do is you do Hive -f. -f is to run a file, and you are running test.html. Hive -f test.html, and it will kick off the code. So now you got the output. So that's how you run a HTML file from Hive file without going into Hive CLI. And I'll show you how to substitute parameters in this also. So let's take the same example. To substitute the parameters, I have to do the same thing that I showed you earlier. Is do open braces hive conf put id, the same thing that we have done it over there, and then save it. All I'm doing is hive conf, and I'm taking the value from id. Now before submitting this job, what we have to do is we have to specify parameters here. What we have to specify is we have to tell that hive conf id is equal to 1 and then -f test.html. So you're passing the parameter value here. Before running this code, you have to say that I'm using a parameter id is equal to 1, which is nothing but specifying by hive conf. Once you specify hive conf, it would be expecting a parameter that you want to pass it. Let's say if you have 2 parameters in this file, you have to do the same thing. Hive conf, then you have to specify another one, id1 or first name is equal to. If you have 3 values, you have to specify 3. So the number of arguments you have to add, keep on adding to it. So let's see this. So it's running the code, took 0.735. See, it threw me an error. So error is okay. So went wrong. Test.html. So be Parquet table where id is equal to hive conf. Oh, sorry, I did not pass this dollar. For any parameter, you have to pass $b. I forgot to pass that dollar. Now you're running it again. So we got this one row now. So this is how you do substitution in Hive. So until now we saw how to use -e, -s, -f. So these are the main things you'll be using. For file you use -f. If you want to run it through by complete script using in that command, just to use -e. To suppress the output, MapReduce percentage is just do -s. So with this, we are done with Hive. Let's go and start basics of Pig.